How's it going, everybody? I got this here Dracaena, or dragon plant, or Dracaena, Dracaena, whatever you want to call it. Google says it's called a Dracaena, the proper pronunciation, but I don't know. We'll go with it though. So I got this out at Vincenttown Nursery a couple years back, 2 years ago, and you can see a little bit root bound there. So I'm gonna repot it, but when I repot it, I think I'm gonna break these two apart, and then we'll have two in separate plants, separate pots. So I'm not gonna bother trying to pull all these apart. I'm just gonna go straight down the middle here and cut it up, and hopefully they both recover fine. As you can see, it barely looks like there's any roots on the inside of the pot. I don't know what the heck is going on with that. If they really enjoy the outer wall of the pot, and they want the contact of the wall and the roots, like maybe they want a closed pot, but there's a ton of extra space in there. There's only a couple main roots coming in, so I don't know what that's all about, but it seemed like they should be moved over to another pot. I'll go ahead and kind of loosen these up a little bit now. Some of them are going to tear, but we'll be all right, I think. These so far have proven to be pretty slow growing. They might have put, like, I don't know, an inch or two of growth on in the time that we've had them. We had them in a south-facing window for the longest time in the house, and eventually, actually, I guess that was just up until about a week or so ago when we realized how root-bound they were, and brought them out to the greenhouse to repot, and they've kind of been sitting here like this the whole time, which, had I known that the outer roots were the only thing open there, you know, I probably would not have left them out of the pot for so long. It looks like we got some small roots in there. Not sure why they're not getting bigger in there though. I wonder if it's the potting mix itself. I don't know. We're gonna throw it in some Pro Mix and see how they do from there. Alright, so I changed my mind. We're going to use one pot with the Pro Mix BX and the other pot with a standard Miracle Grow potting mix. And we're going to see how these two do. Basically all I'm doing is put a little bit of the potting soil in the base, try to center it up in the pot, and then fill in around it. Try to get it to stay stable. Do like Pro Mix, but I'm not 100% as far as what additives are in it, if there's any sort of extra nutrients added or anything, any fertilizers. I know it's got perlite, it's got biofungicide and mycorrhizae. I believe that's supposed to basically like believe it's like, I've heard the explanation a bunch of times. I believe it's a bit of like a fungus that's supposed to help stimulate the growth of the plant. probably read up on that a little bit more before I even go mention it, but YOLO. I found though that when using it for seed starting and stuff like that, it just doesn't seem to have what the plants need to, pack on some size. I end up starting to supplement with compost and fish water pretty early on. And I generally don't use the Miracle Grow, just because I'm not sure what's in that either, but I've got a friend who's been using stuff like that in her house plants, and they've been looking real nice. Some of the ones that we've sold to her, or given her actually, have just gone nuts with it. So could be the food, or it could be natural green thumb she's got. But I got a couple leaves on here that aren't looking so hot. I pulled the real bad ones off before we even really got started, but I don't know if I want to pull these off right now, if I want to wait and see what happens with them. I feel like we're probably going to have a little bit more die-off just because of the trauma to the roots that we just had, but we'll see where it goes. So really love these plants, beautiful looking plants. So I believe that the variety here is either a lemon lime or a lemon surprise. It's very tough sometimes to figure out what's what just off of looking through pictures in a Google search. As I'm sure some of you or all of you have experienced, there's a ton of clickbait sites out there that really are just trying to draw you in. They got a pretty picture and not a ton of great information on them. They might have some general care tips or whatever. So not sure what it is exactly. If you know, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to actually get it labeled and do a little bit more research on it. But right now, just kind of playing around with it and seeing what it does, just like most of the other plants that we have here. So if you enjoyed this and you'd like to see more of the other plants that we're going to be playing around with, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon for notifications, and check back later, see what we got going on. Thank you. Have a great night. And lastly, before I forget, I'm just going to go ahead and label them so I know what mix we put in, so we can track that also. Take care.